Whether you like it or not, AI has been taking over the internet since the start of the year, and we're at the point now where there's hundreds of new AI tools popping up every single day. So for me personally, since I know that this trend is not going away and it's going to only grow more and more and more as we continue to go forward, I made it a mission to start testing these tools early on as soon as they started to pop up. So to save you the time of going out, finding, trying, and testing all these tools and putting hours into doing it as I've done, in this video, I'm gonna share with you my top 5 AI tools that I am actively using in my daily workflow for my online business right now that are boosting my productivity and ultimately changing the way that I work for the better. So with that aside, I want to share my screen now and let's dive into it. Okay, so the first tool that I want to highlight, and honestly probably the number one AI tool that I find myself using the most right now, is ChatGPT. This tool is essentially the OG AI chatbot tool. This was founded by OpenAI and a research company on November 30th, and since their initial launch, they went from having ChatGPT 3 to ChatGPT 3.5 and to now their latest and most developed model, ChatGPT 4. So to create your account and start playing with this tool, all you need to do is go to chat.openai.com and then sign up for your account from there. So as you log into your account, you'll be taken to a screen like this where you can essentially initiate your new chat or your first chat. So as you initiate a new chat, you're gonna have the option to first select which model you would like to use for your request. And the options essentially are the default GPT 3.5, which is available to all free account users. And then moving down from here, the legacy GPT 3.5, and then GPT 4, which is available just to the plus users itself. One more example before we move on to the next one. Let's make this one specifically geared towards business and more of the use that I'm actually using this tool for. Again, before we get into this final example of ChatGPT, if you have not yet checked out my latest video where I break down how I'm using ChatGPT and AI right now to create better video content faster than ever before, and specifically using this tool to quickly create YouTube videos, from video ideas to SEO optimized titles to transcriptions to video outlines and much, much more. I'll go ahead and throw that video up on the top of the screen and you can go ahead and check that out if you would like. So in this last example here, let's just say we want to frame this one as we want ChatGPT to act as a YouTube creator and we're looking for content ideas. Now, a caveat and a thing to note here is when we are framing ChatGPT to be or act on behalf of a certain person or a certain thing, in this example, acting as a YouTube creator, it's important to also include lines such as my first request is that you come up with X. Then you can share from there and say my second request that you come up with this and continue on from that point. It will know to pick up from where you left off on that first initial request itself. So I want you to act as a YouTube creator. My first request is that you come up with 10 to 20 YouTube ideas around marketing and high ticket sales. Simple request, let's see what it comes out with. So the importance of building trust in high ticket sales and how to do it, how to create a sales funnel that converts high ticket buyers, the top 5 mistakes that people make when selling high ticket items, how to use storytelling to sell high ticket items, how to position yourself as an authority in your niche to sell high ticket. A bunch of great ideas alone here, and we can even say, come up with 10 more. And again, this will continue to spit out more and more and more ideas. So without going into further examples on this topic here, I'll let you check out that video that I mentioned before that will also be linked at the end of this video where I go in depth on how to take these initial ideas that it generates and build off of it from there to finalize your video, production, topic, etc. So without going further into examples on this one here, I'll let you check out the video that I mentioned before. This will also be linked at the end of the screen here, specifically going through how I'm using ChatGPT for content idea generation and video content creation. Next up, Chopcast. So Chopcast is another AI tool that I'm using right now, and this one is more specifically used for video content creation. So what Chopcast essentially does is, as you see here at the top of the headline, turn podcasts into YouTube shorts automatically. So you can upload your YouTube videos, podcasts, recordings, and Chopcast will automatically identify the key moments from that video clip itself, and it will essentially populate a list of highlighted clips from that longer form video. So if you have Facebook Lives or longer form content, podcasts, or even medium form video content that you want to take, repurpose, mash up, and chop down into short form clips to put across TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts to get more exposure and to ultimately squeeze more out of that asset that you're creating, Chopcast is a great way to do it. To create your account, all you do is go to Chopcast.io, and from there, you can sign up first initially for the free plan, and they also have a paid plan option. So before I log into my account here next and show you some of the features that I love most about this tool, I do also want to note that I did just recently drop an in-depth, step-by-step training video breaking down Chopcast in detail from start to finish on exactly how to use this tool. So I'll go ahead and throw that up on the screen here as well, and I will also link that one at the end of this video. So now that I'm logged into my Chopcast account here, you won't be able to see this button in the top right of the screen, but there's a button that's gold that says new. And when you simply click this new button, it's going to allow you to select upload video. And you'll see here on screen, it pops up, do you want to add in a YouTube link or do you want to drag and drop your clips here? So you can take a Zoom recording, a Facebook Live download, a podcast download, upload any of those clips here directly, Or if you want to pull in a YouTube video that you just published and shared and turn that into a short form short and highlight, you can simply drop the share URL here in this location. Since I already have some videos in place here, we'll close this down and jump into one of them here. So what will take place is after you upload or add your video, it's going to automatically generate what looks like this. And it's going to show you here the option to hover over and click clips. So this AI tool is scrubbing through this entire clip and pulling in what it sees as the top highlights from this video itself. So all these clips that we see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, are 10 pre-generated shorts clips that you can use to pull out, edit, make your own, and share across vertical video platforms. Now, what's really cool about this tool that they just changed that I didn't share in the initial training because the feature was not yet out yet, is you're now able to bypass their suggested highlights and cut out and make your own based on the transcription. So you can see here as we go into one of these highlights, these are all generated via auto generation. So we can come in here and click edit, and it's going to show us exactly what this clip was. It's going to show us the transcription from it. We can choose from here whether we want to resize it and play around with the size. So we can make it a 9:16 or a 1:1. And then we can even go to the extent of adding text, images, graphics, effects, and subtitles directly to this to polish it and get it ready for publish. Now, as we go back to the clips here, what I want to show you is how you can customize and not use their pre-generated highlights, because in some instances you may want to pull out a specific section of a call or a video that you created that you already know off the top of your head what that is, and you want a really easy way to pull that out and quickly trim it down into a highlight. So with this new feature, all you have to do is click create new clip. It's going to pull in the whole video here, and now you're able to see the entire transcription of the video. So let's say you wanted to turn the first couple sentences into a short. You can now come in here and highlight this exactly, create new clip, and you can see here it now created this clip. So you have the ability to manually select, just based off the text that you're highlighting, which you want it to trim down and convert into a short form clip. Along with that, you also have the ability to more fine tune and edit this. So you can zoom into the timeline now and zoom into here further and actually drag and pull this over if you want to include more of that clip, less of it. You can customize it however you want without having to use a separate video editor to do so. And what's also cool about the future with Chopcast is they also just recently announced with their latest features that they're going to be bolting on and incorporating. I'm also really excited for what's to come with Chopcast going forward. Aside from these latest updates that they just released that made this tool that much more powerful, they also just announced that they're going to be integrating with ChatGPT-4 to offer functionality with them, which I'm guessing comes down to using it for headline generation, copy, subtitles, etc. You're going to be able to actually use ChatGPT directly within the platform to polish your videos and prepare for publishing. So pretty cool stuff on this end. This is a really powerful tool to repurpose content, get more out of the assets that you're putting hard work and time into creating, and doing it in a very quick, efficient, and easy way. I will also go ahead and link this tool directly in the description below for you to create your account, and also link the relevant video that pairs with it, walking through exactly how to set this tool up and how to use it from start to finish. Next up, at number 3, we have a tool called Fireflies.ai. So if you simply type in Fireflies.ai, you'll be taken to this page here where you can get started and create your free account. Essentially what this tool does, as it says on the screen here, is automate your meeting notes. So it helps you record, transcribe, and search and analyze in depth your meeting recordings. So every time you go and join a Zoom room or a Google Meet room, especially if you're hosting the call, it's going to automatically take an AI that joins that room with you, and it sits behind the scenes and transcribes and records the entire recording itself. So you can see here as I scroll down, it shows automatically record and transcribe meetings. You can even have communication with your team between the meetings itself. But more than anything for me, what I really enjoy is the simple, quick recap of what was covered in the meeting itself. So it allows me to have to think less about taking notes and be more present in the meeting, knowing that at the end of the call, I'm going to have a breakdown of notes categorized and spit out for me based on the AI transcription. So without diving into more of the features, let's jump into an actual example of a call recording that just came up recently in my Fireflies.ai account. So this was actually a group coaching session. I typically don't use these as much for group coaching calls, but this is still a great example of the power of what this tool can do. So this is a group coaching call with my group coaching clients in our 6-figure accelerator coaching program. So you can see as you get to the end of wrapping up a Zoom call, as I did here with this group coaching session, I'm inside the Fireflies.ai dashboard, and I can see number 1, the entire video is here. So if I wanted to click play and go through the video, I can do this right here. For the transcription, you can actually see a running list of the transcription from start to finish, what speakers talked. If I wanted to rename the speakers and state who they were, I could do so. So it shows the entire transcription of the call. And then to the left, it also shows speaker 1 spoke 80% of the time, speaker 3, 9%, speaker, etc. So in this example call here, I was hosting a training and I spoke for 79% of the time. I was the main speaker. And if I wanted to just see what I shared in the call, I could click just on myself and it will take me just to all speaker 1's notes from the call itself. This also can help fuel that previous AI tool that we mentioned, where if you're reviewing your call recording here inside Fireflies.ai, you may quickly recall and remember what area of the call or what thing you mentioned in the call that you want to pull out and maybe turn into a reel or a highlight. And you can do so by quickly seeing where that's at in the recording itself, taking that line from the transcription and using it in Chopcast. Now, without digressing here too much, coming back into Fireflies.ai, the other really cool and powerful thing about this tool that I love most about it is, especially on one-to-one client calls and team meetings, it will spit out a meeting summary for me, so a complete breakdown of what was covered in the meeting. Below that, it will show an entire outline from the call itself. So you can see here, introduction, sharing wins and updates, clarifying communication, coaching offer progression, recording videos for a virtual assistant, asking open-ended questions, building trust in conversations. All these points were what we touched on in the call, and it automatically pulled these out and highlighted them. And if I wanted to go to that area, I could just simply click here and go to that part of the clip. And then beneath the outline, you have the notes section, which essentially recaps a bullet list of notes from the call, what the speaker was saying. In this example, it's all framing me as speaker. If I were to simply come in here and change my name to Blake, it would say Blake suggests, Blake pointed out this. Either way, just the power of recapping this in note form is pretty awesome. And then what I really love is the action items. So it's also going to recap and pull out any action items that were mentioned from the call itself at the very bottom of the report overall. So if you're having a one-to-one coaching call or a one-to-one team meeting and you guys are talking about action steps at the end of the call, being able to have this AI automatically report back to you in a document form, breaking down, hey, these are the action steps covered. This was covered during the call. Here's the outline if you need to refer back to anything mentioned on the call itself. This is a super powerful tool that saves a ton of time. If you were to try to do this manually, you'd be spending hours and hours doing it. So by far, my favorite feature of this tool is the meeting summary feature. Unfortunately, this isn't offered with the free version. I'm on the first paid version monthly plan, and being on that plan is what allows me to have this meeting summary feature that's produced via AI itself. Now, if I were to upgrade to the highest level plan, I'd also be able to benefit from Asking Fred, which is pretty awesome itself. I haven't played with this yet, so I can't speak for it itself, but I have watched the training on it, and I may upgrade my account in the future to test it out further. Essentially, like many other AI tools out there, this tool is also integrating with ChatGPT and ChatGPT-4. This allows you to come in and ask Fred anything related to your meeting as a whole. And since Fred was the one that transcribed the entire meeting and knows the entire transcription, he's going to be able to pull out quickly answers to your questions related to what was covered during the call. So that's just a few quick examples of the power of Fireflies.ai and why I enjoy using this tool so much to save me a ton of time post-coaching calls, team meetings, to quickly report and recap calls, transcribe the calls, and allow me to pull out the valuable information or the insights from that call itself that I need to quickly and easily. Along with that, they have a bunch of cool integrations and features that I didn't touch on in this video. You can go ahead and check out their website to look more into those. But you can see here at the top in integration section, this tool is also very powerfully used in conjunction with your CRM and using this to take notes on your sales call. So you can record any strategy or sales call recordings directly through this tool, and it can take the entire transcription and move that into your CRM to add to that opportunity card of that prospect you're speaking to, for example. You can also take notes or action steps from team meetings or client calls and move them into your project management system. So you're really able to tap into the full benefits of this tool as you integrate it further with the other apps that you're using to allow for quick sync between the information that was pulled out of that call to moving it to the dedicated locations to where it needs to go next, to allow for you to not have to sweat or worry about it and know that the action steps and what's the most important is pulled out, reported on for you in a quick and easy way. All right, so next up at number 4, we have a very simple to use AI tool that to me is very, very powerful, and this is Speechify. So what this tool allows me to do is take anything that's written in online format and turn it into audio via AI voiceover. So with that said, let's go into an example here next. So let's say you want to take a PDF, upload it, and have it read to you via AI audio. In this example here, I uploaded our book, The Profit Prediction Formula, and you can see here as I scroll down into the book, what I'll do for this example is just go into the first part and begin right here. So I can highlight anything that I want it to read. And if I were to highlight this, I could just highlight from right here.
The coaching business that I've built has generated more than $600,000 in 3 years, and several of my clients are on pace to match or even exceed that. In that time, I've worked with more than 300 clients. The profit prediction formula allows me to manage my business in about 35 hours per week.
So you can see here, it's reading right through it, as said, and you can actually come in here and change the voice too. So if I wanted to change the voice from what it's currently at to, let's say, Snoop Dogg, I can change to Snoop Dogg. And if I wanted to change the speed, I can actually change the speed to a 1.52, which I personally like to always listen to videos and audio at around 1.5 to 1.75 speed to improve efficiency on things. So with the increased speed and the new voice selected, we will click play here.
The profit prediction formula allows me to manage my business in about 35 hours per week while focusing on the business activities that I enjoy most. The clients that follow the formula to the left.
Gotta love the Snoop Dogg voice. That is awesome. So that's an example too of how you can change the voice, do it via PDF. So next, let's jump over to a blog post to show an example of how you can use this Chrome extension on any live web page. So in this example here, I'm actually pulling up a blog article from Justin Wells, a creator that I follow and really enjoy consuming his content and learning from his experience. In this blog here, what I can simply do is hit the Chrome extension, which you won't be able to see at the top of this video. But again, it's just a simple Chrome extension that you would install, just like this here, you can see. And again, this is free to use. As I jump back over to the blog, I will hit the Chrome extension. It's gonna pull this tool up in the bottom right corner of my screen that you see half of, and it's going to allow me to essentially select text right here and start to play.
One of my favorite copywriting techniques is an oldie, but goodie. It's called the 4 Ps, and it stands for promise, picture, proof, push. Here's how I used it to create a Twitter thread that led to 600 plus newsletter subscribers in just 24 hours.
So you can see here, this will continue to read through the page as it goes to the end of the article. And then as I'm going through this article and listening to it, if I happen to want to bookmark or save anything for future reference to come back to, I can actually click the bookmark feature directly in this tool, bookmark it and save it and refer back to it for notes in the future. So that is Speechify. Again, this tool is free to get started to use. What I'm using it right now and all the examples I share with you today are under the free account and the free plan. So you can just go to Speechify.com, or I'll also link this in the description below for you to create your account if you choose to do so. Lastly, moving to the fifth and final tool, this one is going to be around Canva. Now, for those of you here that may be familiar with Canva already, this is a very easy to use image creation and graphic creation tool that you can now use to actually build web pages and do a bunch more. I won't get into all the features here today, and I will go ahead and link Canva in the description below for those of you here that want to create an account and check out all the features that they offer. But recently they just announced that they are incorporating AI into their platform as well, and the first iteration of this includes AI for image generation. I've been playing around with this recently, and I find it super powerful for image ideas that stand out from the crowd, that are different, that you can use for content, for articles, for sales pages. So for me, being a Canva subscriber and not having to pay for any additional tool to get access to more stock images, especially images that are customized and tailored towards my request, is a pretty nice feature. And this new AI integration allows me to not have to sift through a variety of photos to try to find what I like or in the direction of what I'm writing about, whatever it may be. And instead, I can let this tool do the work for me. I tell it what I want and it spits out in turn examples or exact images related to that thing itself. So let's quickly run through an example of how to use Canva's AI image generator. So as we run through a quick example here, what I simply did was just have Canva generate a prompt for me. So typically, let's say I'm writing a post or an email that incorporates a subject line or a story that I don't have an image for, that I want to tie a relevant image into that story that helps create curiosity and helps fit the write-up that I am publishing or sharing. So let's say I'm looking for an image of an ambulance driving in the streets of New York City in the 19th century. Very specific. I can come in here and select style, aspect ratio, we'll leave this as is, and we will let it create the image. Pretty crazy stuff. So image is generated. You can tell the font is a little bit off here in terms of the text on the side. It says ambulance here, but it's a little bit mashed up from the AI itself. But you can always play around and see whether they always generate 4 images. So you're able to choose between which 4 you like the best. And if you aren't happy with them, you can always click create again or start over and redo the prompt and see if it spits out an output more in line with what you were looking for. On that note, that's a wrap for the 5 AI tools that I'm using right now in my daily workflow that are boosting my productivity and ultimately changing the way that I work. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and this breakdown, breaking through all 5 of these tools. If you did, as always, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, show some love in the comments below, and drop your thoughts, insights, or takeaways from this video. And as always, if you have not yet already, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you're not missing out on any future videos that we drop on the channel. I'm going to continue to test more and more of these tools and continue to report back to you guys with my insights, takeaways, as well as the tools that I find the most beneficial to me that I think will also benefit you as well. Lastly, if you did enjoy this one and you would like to learn more about ChatGPT or Chopcast, the two tools that I mentioned in the first 2 points of this video, I went ahead and linked my latest 2 training videos where I break down both of these in a lot more detail up next here in the end screen. So be sure to click and check those out if either are of interest. And in closing here, thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you back on the next video very soon.